Hey!
Hello!
Hello and welcome to Cattle Prod's weekly podcast, the Prodcast. This is episode 3. If you're just joining us, 4 members of the Cattle Prod team sit around a table. Each of us bring a different topic to talk about. We duke it out, and we have general merriment. First up, I wanted to say that we're going to plug our Patreon. We just launched it this week.
Yep.
Any support you guys can give us would be really great. We're under the title Cattle Prod. And you can donate money different levels and just help support us make content. It'll help towards getting us equipment and funding general projects.
Support me, Mom, if you're out there.
Right.
My parents weren't listening.
We'll put the link in the description as well as a link to our Twitter and a link to several other things. I went first last week, so starting us off, want to go, Matt?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Do you want to plug... you weren't ready for this? Do you want to plug our Twitter first?
Yeah, sure. At Cattle Prod Team.
Yeah, follow us. Okay, so... we're current, at least me and Ethan are currently sophomores here at UT, and that has me a little nervous because I have a notorious record for my junior year not going well. My first day of first semester of junior year, I totaled my truck in high school. That was brutal. I blame that on, it wasn't my fault, it wasn't the other driver's fault, I blame that on nature. Because hydroplaning, that's some bullshit. Can we all agree? That's nature's
some
fault.
Bullshit?
That is, come on. I can only do so much. It was the weirdest thing. Oh, man. But that is a whole other story. What I want to get to is the first day of my second semester of junior year of high school. And I just wanted to reflect on some of our dumbest moments in high school. For me, I call this one the trunk story. And it's often trunk as in the back of a car.
Okay.
Which, spoiler alert, I might or might not have gotten in. This is all, for the sake of legality reasons, let's just say this is all hypothetical.
Sure.
Okay, so let me give you some backstory. My first day junior year of high school, at my high school, juniors and seniors had off-campus lunch. So we were allowed to actually go away for an hour. And
fair.
no, it was awesome. Oh, well, it was until I lost it. That's the end of the story. So basically what happened was, me and my good buddy, I don't want to use his real name. His real name, for the sake of the story, will be Leaf.
Sleeve.
Why not just like David or something easy?
No, that's too boring. Leaf. Leaf. So me and Leaf, we were sitting in math class, right? And we realized, it was right before lunch, and we realized we both forgot our off-campus IDs, which means you can't go and that you're stuck to stay on campus with all the freshmen and sophomore losers. So we decide, you know what? We can totally just sprint out the door. No one can stop us. As soon as the bell rings, they don't have the guard checks yet. The deans aren't out there making sure they have their IDs. We'll just bolt down to the local McDonald's.
Question.
Yeah.
Is your high school gated in? Is there like...
Yeah, it's gated in, but so there's different halls.
Okay.
And the halls are all, there's no gates around the halls. Like the gate is only going around the parking lot, which is usually how people go off campus.
But can the hall lead right off campus?
Yes.
Got you.
So that's how us walkers or sprinters in this scenario manage to do that. We instantly sprint out the door as soon as the bell rings. We run down. It's like a 2-block run down to the local McDonald's. And we're like, dude, we've made it. We're awesome. We're such badasses. We're chowing down on some, what are they called? The chickens.
Juicy golden tender McNuggets.
Wrong. It's the double. What's it called when you get the double stack in the spicy McChicken?
The poor man's feast.
Yeah, it's like, I forgot what it's called off the top of my head. It's, anyways, so we're chewing down on some burgers, and we call up our friend, I need another name. Give me a name, Evan. I need to know his name. Sunflower. So,
Good name.
so Sunflower, we call him up because we realize we need a ride back and we need to sneak back onto campus. So we call him up, he comes and has lunch with us at McDonald's, and time to go back to school comes by, and we realize, okay, Sunflower, we need to get in the back of your trunk, me and Leaf. And he goes, what? And it's like, yeah, because we didn't leave with you, and Dean Shrubbery, for the sake of his name, Dean Shrubbery is going to notice if we come back with you and we didn't leave with you. He's going to know that we snuck off campus. And just like our other friends last week, we'll get detention, and we don't want that. And he's like, okay, that's a solid plan. So this is where the problem lies.
Okay.
All right, I want you to imagine this. My friend Sunflower is a teenage Islamic male driving a black Mercedes.
Right.
Okay, so I want you to picture yourself. This is going outside the story. What happened was there was actually a witness inside the McDonald's that saw two white boys climb into the trunk of a black Mercedes with a male Islamic man standing next to him.
Right.
And apparently, as soon as the trunk shut, me and oh shit, bleep over that. Hard cut. Anyways,
Your friend Bralix.
me and my friend Leaf are back in the trunk. We're in the back of the trunk. And we're like, awesome, cool, we're gonna make this no problem. We get in the trunk, ride's a little bumpy, we make it, opens the trunk, we're suddenly back in school. We're like, yes, good job, Sunflower, you did it, we're back. We go to 5th period, we go to 6th period. I just sit down for my last class of the day, 7th period.
Right.
And I just sit down and I'm like, I sit next to one of my friends. I'm like, hey, let me tell you what happened at lunch today. On the dot, like out of a movie, one of the deans or counselors comes in and says, hey, Grabowski, wags his finger, and he goes, I need to talk to you. I'm like, there's no way this is related. So I get up and I'm following him. I'm like, hey, what's this about? It's just attendance or like my grades or something. And he's like, oh, no, you'll see. And it just, once again, right on the dot, as soon as he said that, it was like written in a script. My friend Leaf comes around the corner, and he, with another dean, he's got like this quizzical look. He's like, dude, what's happening? And I'm like, okay, so like, are we going to your office or something? He's like, oh, no. Let's go to the parking lot. I swear to God, Ethan, we're walking out into the parking lot. 4 to 5 cop cars are sitting out there flashing their lights. And I'm just like, son of a bitch, what is happening? And once again, on the beat, we see our friend Sunflower getting out of the back of the detective's car, handcuffed.
God, really?
And yes, I swear, I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? His mom is there crying, and I'm just like, what?
I need more reference. Where are you from? Like, where is this?
I'm from Houston, Texas.
Houston, okay.
Houston, yeah, this is Houston, Texas. So this was kind of like, whoa, big
Right.
deal. So anyways, getting back to it. So we go over there, the detective's there. Me and my friend Leaf, we're like, oh, I'm so sorry, we're so sorry. Yes, sir, no, sir, you're trying to get out of it. Our friend Sunflower is distraught. He doesn't know how to deal with pressure.
Sure.
So his initial response is just to deny everything.
You don't just deal with pressure, you deal with Islamophobia.
Right. And also, he's going into it, he's like, this is bullshit. Like, he's trying to like fight it and all that. And I'm like, no, dude, we're definitely on the outs of this one. I'm sorry about that, but like, you need to shut up now. We are already screwed. And so basically the detective gives us the rundown of what happened. Apparently, as soon as the trunk shut, a male came up, or another guy, a witness, came up to our friend Sunflower and was like, hey, are these guys with you? Are they getting in willingly? Like, is this how you always get your friends around? And our fucking idiot fucking friend, Sunflower, who doesn't know how to socialize with human beings, turns to him and for some reason couldn't speak the human language. And he or English specifically. And he just goes, huh, huh. So what's his last reaction? The last thing his brain tells him to do, hold up his finger over his lips and go, shh. I swear to God. And as soon as the detective told me this, I had a small part of my brain die because I knew I was never getting that back. That's all we did, and then he got in the car and he drove away. So of course, the witness or someone else saw this and reported it and reported the license. So what happened? The HPD homicide squad tracks down the license number, goes to his house, breaks in their front door. There's news vans outside. There's a helicopter flying over their house. His parents are mortified because apparently they thought he was kidnapped, but it turns out he was the kidnapper. What a plot twist. They come up to the school, they arrest him, they pull us out to the parking lot. We have to explain the whole story, and we are just, and oh, by the way, best part of the story. As the detectives are grilling us, walks over my new principal that I have never met before, because this was her first year, and she comes over, and the very first words out of her mouth, I never met her before in my life, she goes, you have left a black stain on the history of this high school that'll never go away. This is the first time we've ever had HPD homicide here. And as soon as that happened, I swear to God, I went, this is gonna be a great story to tell one day. And I've been waiting for something like this to tell it, because I was like, we messed up, we were idiots, but this is a great story, and I also kind of want like a small plaque, like first people to bring HPD homicide without killing someone. Like that's kind of an accomplishment. So to wrap up the story, we got 30 hours of community service. We lost our off-campus for the rest of that year. My parents weren't happy, go figure.
I bet.
But it was...
Well, this topic's gone on long enough and this is a hilarious enough topic. I want to just break this down. I want to break down Matt's story. The rest of this topic.
Are you sure?
There's a few things I'm wondering here.
Sure.
Yeah, let's break Matt down.
As a
Yeah,
person.
so first off, I just think it's hilarious because I look at baby boy Matt.
I don't. You always call me that.
Like he's so pure.
He's more of a teenage heartthrob.
Yeah.
Pure is not the word. I don't think. I'm just not
In
an
appearance.
outgoing asshole, baby.
In your appearance, you're so jovial. You seem so kind. I
Sure.
assumed you were a Boy Scout, like all through school.
Nah, I was a
never
Cub
once-
Scout for a little bit, but I dropped out because I'm a bitch.
Boy Scout in character. As in,
Sure,
like, you never,
sure, yeah,
never
yeah.
once
Okay, I got
or
you.
whatever. And the more I learn about you, the more I'm like, oh.
No.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
You got 30 hours community service.
Mm-hmm.
What was like school penalties? Like what happened there?
Actually, that 30 hours was the school's penalty.
Really?
We got out of all legal issues. Remember, again, this is hypothetical. We got out of all legal issues because, oh, this is another part. The detectives were grilling us, and they were telling us about how stupid this was, and that the reason they took this one so seriously is because the last homicide call they got of kidnapping ended up with a dead body by the airport. So we're like, okay, so like we dropped the bar just like a little bit, understandably. No, we were actually facing. I believe it was actually misdemeanor for some of us. I think mainly for the driver, for Sunflower, because he technically was endangering minor lives.
Sure.
Once again, hypothetical. So he was technically in trouble because I was 17, Leaf was 16, and Sunflower was 17. So technically, yeah, he was endangering a minor's life because he got in a trunk. That was the part, honest to God, but the thing was when I told my parents, my mom was most mad that we got in the trunk of a car. Like, that was the
Sure,
thing. She was like,
right, I
you know how
bet.
dumb that was? What if you got rear-ended? I was like, Mom, there were like 5 cop cars. Like, and the next day of school, because we had in-school suspension. Oh, that was also part of it. We had 3 days of in-school suspension. Yeah, whoa, you showed us. To be honest, that's boring as shit, staring at a wall for 7 hours.
I know. It's,
We're just sitting there in complete silence after like 4 hours in out of 7, and the swim coach, for some reason, who's in charge of the in-school suspension, is reading his newspaper, all of a sudden puts it down and goes, you know, you boys are pretty fucking stupid. And I just die. I'm like, what? I'm like, you know about this? He's like, dude, the whole school knows. Like, faculty, students, we all know about this. You guys are like the talk of the town right now. And I'm like, this is kind of awesome.
that was my other question.
Yeah.
Is how much like cred did this give you?
Oh, it was anonymous to a degree because literally, remember this is 7th period, so this was all happening as soon as the bell rings. Things were wrapping up, so people were walking out. And there's these 5 cop cars.
Right.
And like, dude, what happened? And we're just
Ooh.
like, you know, we're like sitting there like huddled, like, I'm so sorry, like bowing our heads, like being, I'm terribly
sorry.
sorry. And so everyone just sees us with these cops. They're like, dude, what did they do, man? And it was crazy. We had to like eventually go and tell the story like 1,000 times for the rest of that semester.
I bet.
Yeah.
But they gave you your lunch back senior year.
So technically the 30 hours was optional.
Sure.
Yeah, I know. Let me explain. We got off semi-lucky because we had pretty lucky. We had the suspension. We were having to deal with the legal issue, like having to wait to see how it turns out. We got it appealed, and then the principal was like, "All right, you guys have 30. You guys lost your off-campus lunch for the rest of this year, and if you want it your senior year,
Yeah. Okay.
you have to do 30 hours of community service."
You had to pay your parents.
Okay.
And I was like,
You guys got off so fucking
Yeah, we did,
easily.
we did.
You're like making it out to be like some big thing.
It
It's
is- it
like,
was.
You got a big thing, and then you're like, oh, we got
Let me tell you
time.
though. So what I did, there was a fire station across the street from my high school. For 2 days a week, for 2 hours each of those days, I went and cleaned that entire station. Shit, how many weeks is that? It was like 8 weeks. God, it was so brain numbing. I knew that station in and out. I cleaned so many toilets.
I was gonna say-
So
oh, really?
many floors. Yes, I like actually cleaned it. Because I was like, we got to choose what we did for community service. And originally we tried to like apply to do it for a police station or something because we wanted to give it back. Because we were like, we wasted y'all's time. You know, we want to donate it back. But we couldn't do it. So my
Boy
stepdad.
Scout.
Yeah, Boy Scout.
Boy Scout.
I'm just honorable. It's just, I'm not a dick. That's the thing. So my stepdad's a fireman. He was like, oh no, here I can help you out with this other station that's across the street. So we go there and we help those guys out. Really cool guys though. You know they didn't know what we were there for. We just told them we were doing it for community service. So they treated us like friends and it was great. It was a good time. It was an interesting development in my life.
If only they knew that y'all were criminals.
If only they knew that one of
High-profile criminals.
So that is my story about the time that I was accused of being kidnapped.
That's a fantastic. From now on, I'm gonna imagine you went to a botanical high school because of all these stupid like poison ivy.
Dude, seriously, man, it's oh my goodness. There's so many stories there. But you said you wanted to dissect it more. Did you have more questions? Or
No, that was about it. I mean, I was curious about how, because again, the level, the scale of it
Yeah.
seems like the grand heist of you sneaking out and going it's talk of the town, and it's like, yeah, I got like some hearing service, and that's it.
Yeah.
I still got my lunch back senior year.
That's one of the
Now I'm going to UT Austin.
That's one of the one of my counselors who the day after I talked to him and he was like, "What is wrong with you?" And like if now I go back to my high school every now and then because my little brother goes there, and I see my old counselor and I'm like, "Hey, I go to UT," and he's like, you are the example of hope. Like I don't know how to say it.
The example of
He was like,
hope.
Grabowski, I don't know how else to say it. I'm surprised you are where you are, but good job. So
All right.
that's one of my many stories.
Great story, Matt. Evan, want to take it away?
Stories or different topic?
Different topic.
All right. Okay. So, new Kingsman trailer dropped.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
did.
Hype.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack.
Ooh, yes,
Already.
it is, dude.
Both movies.
Yeah, as I say.
Hey, what was
Like,
the? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no,
do.
what were you saying?
So, I have a little anecdote about this. So, me and my little brother, we saw Kingsman in theaters, and we loved
Yeah,
it.
of course.
And then a few days later, we got on a flight, and we were with my older brother, and he wanted to watch it, and they were playing it on the flight as they do. He watched that whole movie, but they cut out the entire church fight.
Yeah.
They cut it out. I swear they cut out the entire church fight. Like it was
The
playing,
church fight.
and then we're like, "Oh, Nick, get ready, Nick, get ready."
Yeah,
And he's like, "Okay, this is a good movie so far, but yeah, you guys said this is like the best. I hold it as the best fight scene
Everyone says
in all of
church
movies.
Fight,
Best
great
fight scene in
ever.
my opinion." And I analyzed the shit out of it last night when I was watching it again, and I have some things about that. But so the whole church scene
Nice
gets.
prepared this podcast.
Dude, I'm amped about this. This is some great topics we have today. Anyways, the whole church thing got completely cut, and me and my little brother, we just like slouched and we go, "Nick, you didn't watch Kingsman?" And he goes, "Yeah, I just watched the whole thing. Like the credits were rolling." I was like, "No, you literally missed the most essential parts. You didn't watch Kingsman." So that's something that I thought really screws it, because that was one of the videos that you recommended that we rewatch for this.
And I mean, it's like it's the prime example of everything great with this movie. It's got the villain, it's got the over-the-top action,
Yep.
and like the gadgets all going on at once.
That scene ends with "This isn't a spy movie," so
And then-
she's the main character.
Which and it's like the most likable guy, like Colin Firth,
Yep.
attractive British male, great accent, looks beautiful, and then after like showing how fucking manly he can be with like
The epitome of the Kingsman power.
like literally killing everyone in the Westboro Baptist Church.
After
Well-
just dropping the most savage, like, walk away line.
Yeah.
I'm a gay transgender Jew gonna go meet my black husband or something.
Black Satanist husband.
Hail Satan.
Got it.
Smoked meth. It's like everything that you could say just is gone.
It's fantastic.
And then Samuel L. Jackson.
God, man, that's
that fucking everything about him was the perfect villain.
his characterization was great.
Inviting over Harry Hart for dinner to only eat McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Like,
I'll have the Big Mac.
my mom was arguing with me because she's like trying to argue that Samuel Jackson's not a good actor. And I was arguing that he was. She's like, he plays the same character in every film.
Oh yeah,
He's just
Mace
not-
Windu. It's the same guy, same as this
and I
villain.
was like, I agree with her.
What?
Every single movie, he plays the same role of over masculine, really loud, yelling guy who just overuses like MF or whatever. That being said, Kingsman is the most like the only example of Samuel Jackson acting since Django.
Oh yeah, I guess that's kind of true actually.
but Kingsman 2, I have a couple of theories.
Yeah, go for it.
Because one, we just talked about Harry Hart, Colin Firth dies like
Right.
midway through first Kingsman.
Spoiler starting now.
It's now for a couple of years.
No, I know.
It's also graphic novel. We see him get shot in the head. To clarify.
No, yeah, shot in the head.
And
He
they go,
fucking
oh wow,
died.
he's dead.
He's wearing an eye patch. I feel like that's a little
Clarify. In the new trailer that came out,
Yes,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
Kingsman 2 trailer, he's wearing an eye patch.
there's a reveal at the
Yeah.
end, and it's like, F in hell, Harry.
But my favorite is the secret how it was kept during all of filming Kingsman 2. Colin Firth in character, dressed up on set, interviewed. I can't confirm or deny that. It's just like my favorite moment, and it's just like ends with that, and it's just like whatever guy, the guy who plays the quartermaster.
Oh yeah, Mark Strong. Yeah.
Yeah, Merlin. He's just like, Harry? So I've been already discussing theories about this. People, he could just be himself back alive. I say he's either a clone.
Oh.
My girlfriend claims he's a robot.
Interesting.
That's the great thing with the Kingsman universe is any of this is possible. Like, they could literally throw a left hook and it's just, okay.
In the trailer, too, we saw some guy with like a robot extendo arm, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, he has a Logan hand, you know?
Yeah, so I'm like, okay.
I'm excited about the Statesman.
Right.
Man, that's...
Is that like the United States?
the
Okay, that's what I figured. Wearing his 10-gallon hat.
Yeah. And then, yeah. But like in the trailer, you see them like you see the big statesman. There's like giant kegs, like casks of like something.
I knew it already. It's just thinking about it now. I'm just like, God, that's some funny shit right there.
I saw it click in Mad's head.
I knew it. No, I got it last night. It's not like it's just hitting me. It's just so funny.
God.
I was laughing at it then. Go ahead. What other theories you got?
So Kingsmen in Britain, they're tailors as their cover.
Right.
My theory is the statesmen are brewers.
Oh.
Yeah, because they have a very big alcohol motif so far in the movie. And they're all fucking cowboy as hell.
Exactly.
Like, that's how the British see us Americans.
That's what's so great about it.
You don't... I want to say hat makers. That's just my first thing, because I feel like that keeps up with the apparel kind of thing.
True.
That would be... And it's just kind of like more specific to that, I would say. That's just my theory.
I'm just saying, my evidence is that in the trailer, there's they're in this like big warehouse with these giant wooden casks, and they all say statesman.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
So it's just like...
Shoot, right.
It's good foreshadowing.
That could be a great scene.
Right.
Oh, man.
And then, there's the great moment in the trailer is just like someone, I don't remember who, pulls out a whip, and it's literally the same pub as like in Kingsman where like those 3 great fight scenes went down.
Right.
God.
Wait, there were 3 great?
There were like 2.
Yeah, okay. I thought there was the one Harry did, and then the one Eggsy?
Yeah, Eggsy.
Yeah, Eggsy.
Interesting name.
What a lovable character.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eggsy, so lovable. All thanks to Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
Beautiful man.
What's crazy is that movie starts off as such like a chavvy British, like, it starts off like a cool spy flick, and then it just becomes like the most contemporary British film. Like, as like, Shrode could probably back me up here, as someone who's lived in England.
Oh,
that's exactly how they are. Just like, they're all just a bunch of wankers wearing their stupid jackets. And
You lived in England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
We literally just missed each other. Like,
Yeah. Like the summer I left was like the fall that he moved to England.
Yeah.
What? How long did you live there?
Like 2.5 years.
Oh man, I did not know this.
7.
You lived
Are
there.
you trying to
7.
one up
Yeah.
me?
I can tell you that.
Are you trying to start a fight here?
Spy stuff happened in the first movie. The whole scene where Taron Egerton steals the car while Bonkers is playing.
Right. Bonkers.
Yeah, that song's great. It works beautifully.
No, for sure.
And it's like the whole driving backwards is like...
That was the thing also, is that, like, from the new trailer I'm already noticing, is it captures this weird tone of, like, super personal aesthetics of, like, Eggsy's life and everything to this over-the-top spy flick that, like, parodies on itself.
Very self-aware.
Because, like, at the end of the movie, he's literally, like, running down hallways and is, like, full Kingsman, like, beating up, like, Russian mercenaries or whoever this guy hired. And then, like, all of a sudden he finds, like, the princess of Sweden, and it's like, if you win, I'll let you put on my butthole. Like, it's just so absurd, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
No, and the moment I knew it was going to be great was when I went to go see it in theaters. One of my teachers came out of the theater, and they're like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go see this movie, Kingsman." She's like, "I just saw it. It's a terrible movie. It's vulgar and disgusting." And I was like,
Perfect.
"I hate."
That's how you know it's good.
I know she's terrible.
All right, here we go.
So this is going to be a great
It's
movie.
like Dolores Umbridge walks out, like, Dumbledore's the worst professor. That's great.
Yeah, it was like a great moment. I was like, "I'm ready."
So here's the question: do you think this movie is going to be more successful because of the word of mouth the first one had?
I was just sitting here thinking this. I was like, wow, this is the first like awesome sequel that I'm not like, oh, I hope they don't mess it up. Like, I actually have like complete faith in it.
My only issue is I believe in it. I think it's gonna be fun to watch. I don't think it's gonna have the same heart as the original.
Sure.
Because Kingsman, I'm thinking about this now, is like just how it's like an exponential growth of how absurd it gets. It starts out very believable. It starts out like, Iraq War, Afghanistan. And it's like, oh, someone dies. Shit.
So, talking about like the heaviest intro.
And it's just like Taron's sad life, abusive stepfather, like getting beat up by his stepfather's friends all the time, and like his mom's constantly getting abused. Just like really sad. And it's just like Then he's introduced to Kingsman. He goes through the entire training phase. I love like when they do those little training things. Like I love it in movies.
No, and all of the different characters are so lovable or hateable, which is
I
great.
know.
Mm-hmm.
It's so British, like it's Harry Potter level British in the sense that you know who you're supposed to love, who you're supposed to hate. It's just the scene of the train tracks, I think, is one of the best initiation scenes of all time.
It is, dude.
Because that's like Matthew Vaughn did the X-Men First Class movie,
Right.
and it's like that was everyone was like, oh man, X-Men Origins Wolverine, horrible, right? And then everyone watches First Class, and whether or not some people like X-Men, some people like X-Men, but people are like, wow, this is a good comeback, right? And
I liked it.
yeah, it's set up for a lot of other movies in the franchise. So when I saw his new, and he also did Kick-Ass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
1 and 2.
this dude loves graphic novels. This dude loves that comic area.
He wrote Kingsman with the guy who wrote Kick-Ass after working together.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I was saying was when I heard Kingsman was coming out, I saw on the docket, I was like, well, it's this, and I heard it's a graphic novel, and I was like, oh, this is one of those obscure things I like missed out on or whatever. And I'm like, oh no, this is a new contemporary like homage / like I don't know, like jerk off fest essentially of the genre, and it's just over the top. But because Matthew Vaughn is who he is, like in a producer sense too, he can get visual effects people on that can pull off all this crazy stuff he wants to do. And after seeing the second trailer, I'm like, this is gonna be delicious. I agree with you that it's gonna be like the first one has heart because as ridiculous as it gets, there's still I don't know. There is exploding heads at the end. Like,
No, but it's like
Confetti exploding
it's exponential arc.
Yeah,
Just like
you're right.
It starts out like very realistic, and then it gets to the big fight scene whenever Colin Firth comes in, and that's wild because you pull up the gadgets.
Right.
But they're like very simple things, like a little stun laser, and I mean like a gun,
Yeah.
like umbrella. Still silly, but like, and
But-
then it's just like. You get introduced to all the stuff like the free internet chip that makes everyone go like.
Yo, the shoe knife is so hype. The poison
knife.
blade shoe knife.
Better than the shoe knife, the straight up leg blades. Like, you can't forget that.
Dude, she's killing it, by the way. The chick who's the leg blade chick.
Uh-huh.
She's like in the new Mummy movie, and she's in that Armenian genocide film with Oscar Isaac, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's like 7 new movies coming out. Like when I went to go see Fate of the Furious, and I was just like, wow, that's the Kingsman chick. And then like next one came, I'm like, oh, that's the Kingsman chick. And I'm like, oh wow, she's marketable.
No, I liked her a lot. So here's my thing. You're talking about this whole exponential of absurdity. Would it work if they did it in reverse for the sequel? If they start off really the absurd spy thing that we're already used to, like we just finished watching the first one, and then it gets slowly more real, and if they just end the series like that, and they end on a more serious, like, realistic note.
I know they're making a 3rd graphic novel, which is going to provide more material for the movie series. So I feel like there's still a chance that the movie will keep going on as long as it still does well.
Awesome.
So I don't know exactly how.
Well, then if anything, I'm going to say, if it follows a kind of like that arc where it goes from like being absurd to real, I'd say it dips in the middle, maybe. Like there's going to be like that like classic middle trilogy moment where it's like it gets real as shit. I think that's gonna be somewhere in the middle, and then I don't know. I'm interested. You really make a good point about this absurdity like growing, and I'm curious because I think they can't just do it through the whole movie. Otherwise, it's just gonna be too stupid.
For sure.
Wow, that's an interesting point.
It looks like it's kind of like based off the trailer. There's a few of the action sequences, and they look pretty.
Yeah, there's the car chase one?
The car chase
That
like
looks
jumps
dope.
up. That looks hype. I'm really excited.
So
I just
cool.
can't stop watching that.
You know, when the trailer was first going, I was worried at first because I was like, oh, they're doing that thing where they show the big set pieces. But then I was like, no, it's bit by bit by bit. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Kingsman. Everything's over the top. You know, like it's just an aesthetically. And that's the other thing too is it took me a second because I'm used to like James Bond, right?
Yeah.
Like the aesthetic of this, we're trained for more muted colors.
Yeah.
We're trained for more serious. And that music's supposed to trigger something in our head that we're getting a certain environment. So it's such a cool contrast of that classic spy movie music with just these glowing, like, beautiful, like, green mountain areas and, like, the crazy car chase scene, Channing Tatum, and, like, the robot arm guy, like, everything, right?
Right.
It just looks so hype, and you're like, oh, okay, this is Kingsman. And then by the end of it, you see Colin Firth eye patch on, you're just like, God.
But
There
let's
we
talk
go.
about like the American actors that we got in here. Halle Berry.
Right.
We got let's see. Help me out here, guys.
Yeah.
Halle Berry, Channing Tatum for sure.
Channing Tatum. Well, not American, but I'm really excited to see how this goes out. Elton John.
Right. Elton John.
What?
Rest in peace.
Elton John.
Right.
He's in the movie. We don't know what he's doing.
Awesome.
But
He's gonna play Crocodile Rock.
Jeff Bridges, really.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges, right? He's literally all he's doing nowadays is playing Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm on the IMDb page right now, supporting my alcohol theory. All the statesmen have alcohol names for
Really?
their agent names.
Oh, easy.
Let's hear him.
Let's see. Jeff Bridges, Agent Champagne.
Oh, wow.
Okay, well, now you.
Channing
Congratulations, you
Tatum.
won.
That's not even
Agent
subtle.
Tequila.
Tequila.
God.
Pedro Pascal, other statesman, is Agent Whiskey.
Who's whiskey?
Pedro Pascal.
Okay.
That's solid.
Tequila, whiskey. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is the Swedish girl coming back?
Oh.
Yeah, she is. What?
She is.
That has to be a scene.
She's back. Princess Tilde or whatever her name is.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Comes back in the very end. She's just
It picks
bends
up,
over.
What if it picks up exactly where the first one leaves off? It's just him, like him walking out. You just see him like her
graphic
turned over.
bleeding profusely.
Damn it, Shrode. The graphic image in my brain.
Here's the thing, though. Like, she's the only surviving world leader.
Really though.
Oh yeah, I guess they all did die.
What is the universe of two? Because the Princess of Sweden and like any other dissidents are the only surviving people.
Oh, yeah.
The American president gives in the chip. Yeah, there's a whole scene of like the American set rep room,
Well-
and all the people are gathered at a table, all their heads blow up.
Okay.
And the last one's obviously Obama.
You remind me of something? Yeah, really. You remind me of something. So, the people who didn't have the chip were the people who were just forced into cells at the end.
Yeah.
Like the princess. There's a throwaway line in the movie that said, what's that lady's name? She's a rapper that everyone hates.
They said
Nicki Minaj.
No, white.
Oh, Iggy
Iggy
Azalea.
Azalea.
Iggy Azalea. They're like, where's Iggy Azalea gone?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, that's my favorite throwaway line in the movie is there's just someone who's like, Iggy Azalea missing. And it's just like, in a world
God.
where either Iggy Azalea had her head fucking exploded or
Right.
was just in like some random Arctic jail
Good.
as
Oh.
a leader of the world.
Speaking of Arctic jails, speaking of Arctic jails, one last point on this topic for
Yeah.
so long. Best Mark Hamill movie, in my opinion.
dude, Kingsman is so good.
You know how many times I watched that movie with different people, and then I would make the reference like, "Oh yeah, shout out to Luke Skywalker," and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Mark Hamill." They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, well, Luke Skywalker plays the professor, like the global professor guy.
Yeah.
And then people are like, "What are you talking about?" And I showed them the clip, and they're like, "That old, wrinkled, bearded ball sack of a man's Mark Hamill." I'm like,
pull a
yes.
picture of him from Kingsman.
Because I'm pretty sure this came out before episode 7.
Oh, Kingsman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely
yeah,
came out
definitely.
before episode 7. Kingsman's 14?
Really?
2014?
That long ago?
15.
Oh.
14, yeah.
Wow.
Nailed it.
Wow. And then episode 7 was 15.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because
So-
16 was Rogue One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Mhm.
Yeah, shout out to these yearly releases. Yeah, let's.
I'm trying to just find a picture of him. Yeah, I completely forget every time until like, how many times have I seen Kingsman now? I've probably seen it like 2 or 3 times, but I've seen that church fight scene
Blue.
so
The church fight
many
scene's so good.
times, and I realized it. Okay, so now that I was sitting there and I was analyzing it, I love it's just made to look like it's all one shot, but it's weird because it kind of breaks the idea of how most action scenes work. It's all close-ups.
Yep.
Like everything is just like showing you like the exact thing. Like most action scenes, you kind of want to see wide backs. You can see what all's happening. Yeah, that's totally him. Oh yeah, I totally
He just
forgot
looks
that's
so
him.
sad. Like, he looks like that scrounging, like...
It's his haircut, dude. It's honestly what like changes his entire
He has a
personality.
British accent in the movie too,
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
The voice actor Mark Hamill. just
Yeah, he 100% is.
master of disguise.
Gosh.
All right, well, great topic, Evan. We're all totally hyped for this. I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
When that movie starts getting closer to release, we'll probably have another topic about it.
22nd of September.
Oh, really? Wow.
Wait, isn't that your birthday?
Day before.
That's crazy.
You're the 23rd?
23rd.
I'm 27th.
Tigers is the 22nd. I'm the 26th.
Well, that's crazy.
Oh,
So,
dude.
For our listener week, we got it.
our birthday week is about to get way more entertaining.
All right, great topic, Evan. Mm-hmm. Shrode, how do you take it away?
All right, so Evan, Who are the villains in Kingsman?
Environmentalists.
Environmentalists. Okay.
Essentially.
I just want to say my villain is the best villain ever. Scrappy-Doo from the live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
You mean Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah. Love him.
What was it? Monsters Island?
No.
The Spooky Island.
Spooky Island?
Yeah, they go from
live-action-
Poolsville to Spooky Island. I love the way they name these
The
places.
live-action Scooby... Are we talking about the same live-action?
2002.
There's two of them.
There's
Right.
two of them.
Yeah.
Is the Monster... I thought
Monsters Unleashed is the
Monsters
second one.
Unleashed is the one I'm thinking of. Okay, there we go. Now that I got my train of thought back, we're
Right.
good.
Well,
Alright.
Now that the world's back in order for you, Matt,
Yes.
let's continue.
Talk to us about Scrappy-Doo. Are we just talking about the 2002 movie?
Well, that's the only one he's in, yeah.
Yeah, like we can talk about the cartoons, but he's irrelevant in the cartoons.
A little bit.
I
Let me at him!
But no, I want you to give some background. Talk
Some
to us
background?
about his role in the movie.
Scrappy-Doo is Scooby-Doo's nephew because Scooby-Doo is a virginal puppy himself.
He's pure.
He is pure. And that is why in the last scene of Scooby-Doo, the live-action one, he's being sacrificed because he's the only pure soul that exists.
You're right.
But like right before, like I don't know, Shaggy like intervenes. He's like, "Hey Scoob, maybe you shouldn't sacrifice yourself." And he's like, "What?" and
Well, he's only.
then
pure
Rowan
soul.
Atkinson like melts. And real Scrappy-Doo.
Well, it's not hard being the pure soul out of a debauchery van, by the way.
Nah, true.
Just a bunch of pot-smoking hippies who find ghosts. Like,
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like, just... What are they called? Monsters, Inc.? Isn't that what they called their...
Mystery Incorporated.
Mystery Incorporated.
Monsters Inc. is
Getting
the
all-
Pixar movie.
Dude, I'm
Matt.
getting all my names wrong for child... Throwback.
Okay,
Look
so
at him.
I'm just sorry to interrupt this train of thought, but I was looking at the Scrappy-Doo page on the Scooby Wikia page, and I saw a little tidbit.
From Stay Cool Scooby-Doo or Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated.
Yes, yeah, a very recent incarnation of the series.
Worst incarnation.
Yeah, a statue of Scrappy-Doo appears, and when Daphne tries to talk about him, Fred cuts her off and says that they swore never to speak of him again.
What dark shit is happening in
And
this TV
it
show?
ties back to the reason why he's in the 2002 Scooby-Doo movie.
right.
It's
We
the
like
reason
to
for
talk
the
about
biggest
that.
plot twist in movie history.
I like how they bo-peeped Scrappy until we started three where it's like we lost a lot of people. Who'd we lose? Like, remember Bo-Peep?
Yeah,
We don't talk
dude,
about
that
Bo-Peep.
was so dark. What the... How did they get away with, like, throwing that in a kid's movie? I don't know, man. I think there's some dark stuff going on in
Again,
kids'
dark
movies
movie,
now.
2002 Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's
Real
true.
question: do you think it's a good movie? Everyone around the table, Shrode,
Of course.
Matt,
Good movie?
Okay.
It was entertaining.
sure.
It is a good movie for adult fans of the series.
As I was say, I think it does the same thing the Brady Bunch movie did, where it's taking this super kitschy 70s thing and modernizing it, and by doing so, you realize how ridiculous it is.
Mm-hmm.
That cast, though, that was like the most
Freddie Prinze
star-studded cast
Jr.,
possible.
Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Right.
the guy that cheats on George Clooney's wife in The Descendants.
Yep. Dax Shepard, man. No, that's not Dax Shepard.
That's not Dax Shepard.
No, what's his name?
Let me pull it up.
Matthew Lillard. Matthew
Yeah.
Lillard, that's his name.
And then you got
Oh, and the
Velma.
Chick, yeah, the chick from Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Linda Cardinelli?
Yep,
Yeah. I
exactly.
love her. Honestly, she's
Yeah.
one of my favorite voice actors.
No, yeah, when I saw her in Age of Ultron, I was like, oh, wow.
Wait.
She
What?
plays Hawkeye's wife.
Really?
Dude!
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Good for
I didn't
her.
even pick up on that.
She's all
She's
grown
in a
up.
lot of things that I love. She's
Yeah.
so great.
Okay,
Freaks and
I have a
Geeks.
completely different topic about this, and I really don't want to. I just want to say one thing about it. It's completely off topic. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
We gotta get back to Scooby-Doo after this, but Civil War, the scene where Vision and Crimson Witch, is that her name?
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Man,
They're
this
in
side
the
of the
kitchen,
table's got their names
and
fucked
Vision's
up.
like, "I made you some
Goulash.
paprikash," and she said, then Scarlet Witch says, "That's not paprika. What is it?" Vision is like nearly omnipotent. Like, what if it's not paprika? What is it? How does he not know? Okay.
You just,
That's all I have to say about
Alright.
that. Okay.
I'm looking at
Scrappy-Doo.
Scrappy-Doo, the
Scrappy-Doo.
evilest villain.
Do you think he was in the right to be the villain in that? Because I
think-
remember it being just kind of like it was definitely a surprise to see he was the villain. I was like, all right, didn't see that coming.
almost as if there's no plot
They-
development.
Yeah,
to that at all.
exactly.
No.
But I was like, is he motivated? They kicked him out of the van, right? And
Yeah.
that was it. Like, cause what? What do you do?
Velma's flashback.
Yeah, she pees on.
He Scrappy pees on Daphne, and then he's like, "Listen, you guys, either you appoint me dictator right now, or I'm leaving." And then hard cut, he's out of the van, and they're driving away.
I remember that as him humping her leg, so I'm glad that was my memory is
He's though.
refreshed. Yeah,
It's fine.
it's totally
And
different.
Fred's like, "You're marking your territory."
Classic Fred.
So, I found a very interesting Wikipedia article while I was researching this when we were told that was going to be a topic.
Sure.
And James Gunn, writer of the screenplay of Scooby-Doo, 2002,
The James Gunn.
the James Gunn, said he's talked about why he included Scrappy-Doo in the movie. So he said, there's a Scrappy because he exists in the cartoon, so we have to acknowledge him. And then he also said, I hate Scrappy's guts. We all hate Scrappy's guts. Our goal was to destroy Scrappy forever. James Gunn,
Mission accomplished.
Wow.
2002.
Wow.
So,
Well, Scrappy's guts did get destroyed
Oh my goodness.
only after he swelled up like a balloon
Right.
in the most muscular dog ever.
Actually, he like Space Jams.
that Hulk dog CG.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? It's like he literally like Space Jams himself and becomes a... God. James Gunn wrote that screenplay?
James Gunn wrote it.
I had no idea.
It's a good screenplay.
No,
It's
it is.
really funny. Like if
No,
you watch
yeah,
it
it's
now,
definitely
like, all
funny.
The, like, the dumb weed jokes and like
Yeah.
all the stuff like just
No, as I
goes
said,
through.
it's meant for adults who like
Yeah.
had watched as a kid and go, "Oh wow!" Like the body swapping scenes one of the most perverse things in
It
a
is,
kids
and I
movie.
still remember it.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
shit.
I was
I
scarred.
totally forgot about that scene, dude.
Where like
Oh,
where
yeah.
Shaggy becomes Daphne,
He's like,
looking down his
"Ooh."
brow, like,
Fred
it's like-
becomes Daphne.
Oh,
He's
that's
like,
it.
I won't be looking at these later, and it's like, okay,
Man.
Yeah.
That's the thing is the second movie not nearly as good because it's not nearly as messed up.
also written by James Gunn.
Really?
Yes.
It's so crazy. Yeah, the first one's just completely subverting a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then the second one's kind of an actual run-of-the-mill Scooby-Doo film. The thing is, the first one was over-the-top 2000s visual effects, as in
Yeah.
they're not
Oh, yeah.
good.
Very.
Like, they're floating heads on the green ball. It's like, they got the same guy who did the Haunted Mansion special effects.
Great movie.
Yeah. I'm thrown off, by the way. Like, is there
James Gunn.
is there internal strife in, like, the Hanna-Barbera, or, like, Warner, whoever does Scooby-Doo?
Everyone
like,
agrees that they hate Scrappy because, again,
Who created Scrappy?
let me
imagine
bring it
the-
up. I actually researched this.
Oh, God.
Scrappy-Doo was
Crappy-Doo.
added to the cast of Scooby-Doo to save the show's ratings in 1979 because they began to sink to the point of cancellation by threats of ABC.
Really?
So Hanna-Barbera was like, this character's going to be the show's success.
Like, their new mascot?
And they restructured the show around Scrappy in 1980. And that... And
Doesn't
he-
sit well.
Yeah. He was just an annoying ass character, which is why that series ended.
That's crazy.
But they didn't get the hint and to delete Scrappy until like much later, like
Right.
a lot more recent incarnations, like the ones that I
I'd say
had when I was a
decades-
kid, like
decades later.
the one with the Green Day song is
Yeah.
What's New Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, What's New Scooby-Doo? Like-
That mystery.
the copyright.
Yeah, it's under 10 seconds, it's fine.
All right.
Real quick,
Close, and that was not nearly on key enough for that to
would
be a
you
thing.
say that the Scooby-Doo song is more iconic than Pokemon's
Yeah.
song?
Yes.
Into the crowd.
I was gonna say
Well, sure.
because of longevity. Because that's a weird question though. Because does Scooby-Doo have cross-national, like multinational appeal?
Yeah, there's probably Scooby-Doo's. There's Scooby-Doo meets
like-
Batman.
Well, what I'm talking about.
These are all
Scooby-Doo meets
No,
John.
yeah,
Oh,
what I'm
you're
talking about
right.
is retention rate. Like literally, like Japanese retention rate is insane. Like the entire population will like their own created media, while Americans, whatever, Scooby-Doo has decades on Pokemon, but
Yeah.
Pokemon has
Yeah.
it's a global franchise.
No, yeah, for
That's
sure.
a good question.
But the
Like-
theme song is American
You're right.
because
Yeah,
that's,
but I
that's
mean-
our theme song.
Sure, you're right. But huh.
All right, let me ask you this then. As stationed in Austin, Texas, in the United States, if we walk down a street and
Pokemon.
we asked, okay, if we asked 20 people, you think Pokemon we get more?
Hands down.
Okay.
Because of our generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
guess if we do it like right outside the university, we'll get
Like, that's why I
Pokemon.
said
But if we do it
generational.
right in the middle of downtown,
Yeah, if you go to HEB and start doing it, Scooby-Doo probably.
yeah,
'cause it's
okay.
Like a
So-
reputable brand that
Okay.
everyone
It was like
knows.
mom.
I love Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
You have to respect it.
As a brand, though, it is a fantastic franchise.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I'm going to say Scooby-Doo, dude.
Really.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking about it, and I'm just like, there's a lot of people that don't play or never played Pokemon, you know? And
That's me. I never watched Pokemon.
you never
It's
watched
come
it, but you
out
could,
twice.
Yeah.
sing it. If
And
I
it's
if I
like,
asked you, you could sing the
Scooby-Doo
beginning
doesn't
parts
have
of it.
that.
I'm gonna
I can
say-
hum it.
Yeah.
Think about how many millions of people downloaded Pokemon Go. Like it is.
Yeah.
still a
When we
part-
get into your topic, I want to bring that up.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually, yeah, we are at.
Let's transition.
All right, cool. So
Sorry I stole that bit, but I did a lot of research into the Scrappy-Doo.
No,
because
great.
I was very angry.
A lot more
when I found it
research than me. You're angry
I
at
hate-
Scrappy-Doo?
I hate Scrappy-Doo.
I mean, who doesn't? Let's be honest. James Gunn does, and he's creating Guardians. of the
When you look up
Galaxy,
James
so-
Gunn's IMDb, it goes Guardians of the Galaxy, and then goes right Scooby-Doo. Like those are the two his front runners. I'm just
Hey,
like,
I would love to have the IMDb.
all right, Ethan, what do you got?
All right, so rounding it out in line with Pokemon, I want to talk about our opinions on Nintendo. So we're not just talking about Switch here. I just want to get general reflections on how much of your childhood was Nintendo influenced. Because I know, Matt, Evan, and I play a lot of video games. We're really in there. Shows played video games before. She's aware of them.
Oh, I think they exist.
Yeah.
I'm a believer.
She's on a flat laser on it. But I just wanted to know because I guess I'll start the topic.
Sure.
I was watching this great interview with Lorne Lanning, the guy who makes the Oddworld games. And he's really smart in the industry, and he's probably one of the most, if not successful, he has the longest longevity in the games market as an independent developer. He's not even third party. He's like an independent guy. And Abe's Odyssey, every single generation pushes narrative, pushes mechanics. Listening to this guy talk is fantastic because he's just trying to get every single ounce of he takes all the money he earns from his games, puts all of it into the development of the next one. So there's some kind of new mechanic, some kind of new thing, moving from 2D graphics to 3D graphics. It's a great franchise. And it's so weird because it's so niche that people who hear about it are like, yes, I love Abe's Odyssey, and everyone else in the gaming community has no idea what it's about. And anyway, he was on an interview and he was talking about the Switch and how he thinks the Switch is going to perform as well as the Wii U. He thinks that the gimmick of the portable, the gimmick of the thing, is stupid. He thinks getting rid of the portable versus console market for Nintendo is idiotic, and combining them together, it's going to kill their sales. He thinks, as a developer, he's not going to develop for it because he was talking about the release rules for the Switch and how essentially Nintendo won't market your game as a third-party developer unless you're exclusive to them and or day and date, which means that you have to release first for Nintendo. And otherwise, they won't market it. And in fact, there's been proof lately that they bury titles that are third party that aren't exclusive to Nintendo. Also, the thing only has 2 gigs of RAM, so developers have to either develop a really poorly performing, underperforming game for Nintendo's platform and then release on everything else as a garbage thing torn apart by the PC community, or alternatively, make a really big game and never have it come to Switch and miss out on the entire Nintendo thing. So he's complaining that because of this, a lot of developers aren't on, and that the initial swarm of indie games on the Switch, like Shovel Knight or whatever, are hungry developers, hungry for money, essentially hungry for payouts, and had games that were weak enough to run cross-platform. But in the near future, because of a Scorpio coming out and because of the PS4 Pro, and because PCs are getting better every single day, what my laptop can run is better than a desktop 5 years ago. His whole thing is that the Switch is gonna not fail, but it's gonna be between Wii U and GameCube sales.
Wait,
And
what were the GameCube sales?
GameCube sales
Horrible.
were pretty bad.
Horrible.
Were they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
sadly.
one of my most nostalgic
know.
platforms.
And there we go.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I talk about.
Yeah.
Does it matter? So I want to say, do you think Nintendo's going to fail again this, do the worst again this cycle? And then B, do you think it matters?
Well, this has a lot to do with some of the articles you were sending us.
Sure.
And they're forced, they make a artificial demand. by limiting supply. And they knew that demand for a Switch was going to be high based on all the PR they had.
Yep.
And they pulled the exact stunt they pulled with their highly successful NES Classic.
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking about this the moment you post that, even before I saw those articles, but it's just like, it is a scam. It is playing with the consumer because it's gouging prices. But it's also screwing them over because...
There's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. And they're not getting paid that much money. They're not getting the scalping prices. They're getting what their MSRP is.
So, for anyone who's not aware, essentially Nintendo did their first console, NES. It's a classic. Fantastic games on there. Original Mario, Mega Man, all these really great games. And essentially they released a classic version, which is it's a little tiny mini version of NES. You
It's
can
a plug-and-play console.
Exactly, plug and play, like those like little Atari game things.
Yeah.
You can just plug it straight HDMI into your thing. It comes with like a controller. You can buy another controller for like $20, and it comes with like 50 classic games, all baked into the RAM. And essentially, they were only intentionally releasing a certain amount, and they knew they could gouge the prices up, and they knew that people would be begging for these things. And retailers sold out incredibly fast, can keep up demand, people issue the controllers, but the thing sold out. The Switch released for like what, $300? How much is it?
Yeah, it's $300. It's $299.
Yeah, it's a fairly cheap console, but they only right. I mean, technically that's also the price of a new Xbox and what?
You could argue it's like 2 to 3 consoles though.
I mean,
What?
Because like
Switch?
the Switch.
can you?
Dude, honestly, okay, so I gotta say it.
Are you a Switch
No,
apologist?
it's the it's
Switch
the PR
apologist?
that's got you.
Yeah.
It's not the experience.
All right, good. Then I want y'all to throw some counter arguments at me and see if I still hold water. I was watching one of the interviews he sent us, and as I was watching him break this apart, I was like, this is like some of the shit that me and my brothers would have dreamed up when we were 6.
The idea behind it is phenomenal.
Yes, that's what I'm
The
saying.
execution was terrible.
How do you figure?
The console itself
Yes.
is so cheaply made. I understand why they have to do that. I should have said more. There's video after video after video of people putting their console in the dock to play as a
The
console.
dock that comes with it.
To make it play on the TV, just scratches the screen right up, just tears the thing apart. It like melts, like overheats and melts the console inside of it. Cartridges.
What?
Also, other thing I hate, cartridges. The fact that Nintendo still uses cartridges.
They went back to cartridges?
They've always used cartridges essentially, except for Wii U.
Wii and Wii U have
Wii,
used
and
discs.
GameCube.
But do you know why?
GameCube used discs.
Do you know
Yeah,
why
you're
they
right.
use cartridges? Anti-piracy. That's
Yeah.
the only they lie and say it's a portable console.
And they
no.
also lied because they were claiming it was nostalgia based too.
Yep.
To be
People were
fair,
like, oh man, I love cartridges.
No, but
they're so much faster.
There's some nostalgia.
No,
there.
but
I can
the
understand
reason
that.
why they do it as a business is anti-piracy.
Yeah.
It's
I believe it.
borderline
No, I believe it.
impossible to pirate a cartridge. Well, it is. You can just rip that thing right apart.
Well,
So,
I mean, you
Unless
got your
you-
little SD card cartridges you can make.
no, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the reason why they do it. And I guess this gets to my bottom line, and I'll throw this to you guys, is Nintendo survived incredibly long, and not only that, it's arguably the most important video game company in the industry because it saved video games. Like, video games were dead, they were gone. Like, Atari tried dragging it down, and Nintendo, the little Italian plumber, managed to save video games, like, permanently, right? Video games are now, like, a mainstream part of culture, and they're getting cooler and cooler every single day. It's the sexiest industry. It has... Literally, it's the most profitable entertainment industry in the world. Like, there are headlines in Forbes in 2009 that are like, is Nintendo the most successful entertainment industry? Like, when you talk about entertainment industries and you go, Warner Brothers, Fox, Paramount, Nintendo, right? They merchandise, amiibos. Every single kid now has some kind of Nintendo. On my desk, I have a Mega Man toy because, like, I want an amiibo. Shirts. Everything, right? They control, movies. They have all these different things. Now they're moving on the app market space, and like Pokemon Go is a massive success. Nintendo gets a little cut from that.
Huge success.
It got them a bunch. That's what Nintendo wants: a bunch of money really fast, so they can make their next thing. It's poorly handled. The online service is garbage,
It's trash.
and but
People
Nintendo
still liked it though.
and console-wise, NES, massive success. Literally like revived gaming.
Yeah.
SNES, massive success, pushed boundaries. N64, the most important leap in console history because we went from 2D to 3D.
My
as
first
it
real
makes sense.
console.
I mean, people also like other people went to that 3D space before them, and they
Sure.
went to the higher bits. I don't think they reached 64, like 32, like the Sega Mega Drive and
Right.
stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
they straight up skipped 32. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and
it was a very important step.
I'd say the 64 was the jump into modern gaming. You have
Yeah.
GoldenEye and you have stuff like that. And then GameCube, you have just classic, like the best Metroid games and the mastering of that. Then you have the Wii, which is this weird sensation where old people are playing Wii, they're playing tennis.
And you're ignoring their domination of the handheld market.
No, for sure. And I was going to say, and then Wii U was kind of like a really lukewarm, I'd say horrible outing on Nintendo, considering the fact that that could have been their year to take it back.
Yeah, it made no sense. Like,
No, wasn't
so much PR struggle with it.
Did the Wii U come out the same year as the next gen consoles?
It came out after them, I think.
Yeah.
Which is even worse. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
They had their chance.
That's even more understandable why they fell behind.
So before that, I guess during all of this, Game Boy, Game Boy SP, Game Boy Advance, all of these super successful handhelds, and then the 3DS, the DS and the 3DS have just been dominating the handheld market. So much so that Sony, who's been dominating the console market lately, is literally had to cancel essentially their handheld, the Vita.
No, yeah. Every PSP they've released, every handheld game device Sony's released has lost all support because of Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was one of the dumb suckers that bought the damn PSP Go.
Oh, you bought that?
I got it for Christmas.
For anyone who doesn't know, the PSP Go is such a bold move because Sony went, everything's going to be digital soon. This thing isn't going to have a disc drive.
Yeah, you cannot insert anything into this other than an SD card.
Yep. So everything's downloading off of the market. You have your Sony account, you download. And the biggest mistake was Sony did not have an online marketplace that worked.
Yeah.
Because that was right after the crashes.
No, yeah. It was like literally after the big piracy strike that just destroyed Sony that year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I got Infamous out of it, but still.
Right, exactly. They gave you like free games. Yeah.
They're like, sorry guys, all your credit cards are gone, but here's some games.
Yeah. So, and that's another point too, is although Nintendo dominates handheld, and that's what keeps it afloat despite just really lukewarm consoles with random niche successes. But here's my other part of it is I guess that this is the major crux of the question with this Nintendo thing.
Sure.
Is the argument of monetary success and cultural success and morality as a company. So monetarily, Nintendo with the Wii made a bunch of money, right? So it won on that front. It just sold a bunch of units. Every single person, there was that joke, the Wii 60, right, where everyone had a Wii and a 360 during that generation because you played your little Wii Sports. Everyone had a Wii because it was like $100 up front.
Everyone had a Wii because they were so cheap.
No, it was called the Wii 60. I know you can flinch because you're a Sony guy.
Yeah, I'm a Sony man.
But recognize that PlayStation up until like 2012 was garbage.
Yeah.
It was. I owned a PS3 on top of whatever. It was garbage.
I agree.
So the pop culture was Wii 60 because Halo 3 had come out. It was so cool. Everyone loved. Xbox was on the top of the game. Gears of War, Halo, etc. And then another Wii. So monetarily it won. As culture-wise, I think Nintendo hurt itself because what its strongest market was their mascotting. It was they have these brands everyone knows that they're gonna love. So it's like Mario, whatever. And sure, Mario Galaxy was a good innovation, I guess. But otherwise,
It's a fun game.
Otherwise,
Wonderful.
they haven't created any new mascots that people like, whatever. They were just reiterating. And we kind of saw a dip. Like people weren't really big fans of the Wii generation of Smash. People were going still saying on GameCube, etc. And then I guess the last point, so I'm gonna wrap this up. The cultural win, right? Nintendo, I'm sorry, not cultural, ethics. Only games that came out for Wii pretty much were first-party games. Yeah, shovelware and first-party games. I can count literally on 3 fingers
Hell's Kitchen for Wii.
Hell's Kitchen for Wii is a great game.
The good third-party games for Wii are Oddworld. No, not Oddworld. Mad World. That Chainsaw. Mad World, which is a fantastic random third-party game, and then No More Heroes. Travis Touchdown, classic, right? Which we might get in 2020 or whatever for the Switch. But literally, there's only a handful of really good third-party games, and they were not supported. They were shoved at the bottom. All of them got a few thousand sales.
Yeah, they're only cult successes now.
Exactly, and people who had them, like me or whatever, oh, that's awesome, whatever. But whatever. And I'm saying, as a console, don't you want to push developers up and grow the industry? But instead, all Nintendo does is have their 3 little companies, their in-house companies, right? They have Game Freak that make Pokemon for handheld. They have their in-house Zelda Mario team, and then they have random, very obscure Japanese like Suda51, or they have Splatoon, right? Splatoon was the one for Wii U, right?
Yeah.
What other third-party games are out there for Wii U? And
I think that's their market that they're trying to appeal to because They get like the mainstream
They don't trust
non-gamer,
American
the non-gamer people that play video games. Like that's why they have Mario
Yeah, it's the
Kart
casual.
and all the just the casual video gamers.
I
think that's their market, and I think that's why they're kind of failing because that market's not as interested.
I think that's
not as interested in buying expensive consoles. They want the
Yeah.
cheap $60 like Wii you
Toy.
could buy like off like used rack, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's
That's
great.
got all the games they need on it. And they don't need to upgrade.
I think that's a great point, Shrode, because I was just thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I think those games are very universal. Like anyone can just jump on there and start
And play
playing
it.
it anywhere.
And every time Nintendo comes out with a new console, they automatically come out with another Mario Kart game.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
like
Mario Kart 9 coming out soon.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
8 Deluxe.
8 Deluxe.
Yeah,
Okay.
that pisses me off, man. Why you gotta break it?
That's what I'm saying.
But also Mario Party, Mario
Odyssey's coming out.
You know for a fact new Smash is coming out.
But I'm gonna be honest.
Upgraded.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. The game it launched with alone
Zelda.
nearly had me. God, Breath of the Wild. I've been
Yeah.
wanting to play it
I wasn't
so
sold.
bad. Oh man, I was right there. I had to really look at my bank
Everyone was
account.
gushing over it.
Yeah, everyone was
10
just
out
like,
of 10.
everyone was like, it's remarkable. There's no complaints. I'm just like, like I'm
Really?
tearing up.
All the way up until their live stream event describing what's all coming with the Switch. I was on the train
Mm-hmm.
and it just lost me.
I took like 3 flights recently, and every single one of them, I've sat next to some like young trendy couple on their Switch, like playing like they're both either playing or whatever, and I'm like, how did you guys manage to grab these so fast? Because like they sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
And I was with you, Matt. I was literally sitting there like, I'm thinking about buying it. It's such a cheap console, but as Evan said, there was like 5 games coming out, and 3 of them are shovelware. You know, Literally it's Zelda and it's
And re-releases of like old stuff that's been out for years.
Exactly. I play Shovel on every single console. So we'll talk about this again later because obviously there's a lot more here I could ask. I just
Sure.
wanted to get my opinions out that as a developer, right, like Steam, Xbox Live Arcade changed the marketplace of letting indie developers get in, and that's why it's like $1 trillion industry, right? There's
Yeah.
literally hundreds of thousands of people getting hired in this industry to make video games, get their art out, and interactive media is the future of content. And Nintendo is the most, it's representative of Japan. Like, it's this walled off island, essentially, that doesn't let anyone else in, doesn't bring in any Americans, doesn't touch their culture. Like, their press conference was so indicative of that, launching the Switch, that it was so Japanese to a fault. It was so weird. And I guess we'll see this E3 coming up this summer.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's coming up.
What's in store for the Switch?
I feel it. I mean, I feel like we're coming close to the end of this podcast, and there's a lot more stuff I need to talk about with Nintendo.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
It's just something we need to save for a later date. Handheld market is their true success.
Mhm.
And it's where they've done
And
things right.
they're
dominating
They're
it.
cannibalizing it by...
Yeah, by releasing the Switch to do it. It's just-
Then I'm assuming we're like wrapping up here in just a sec. I want to wrap it up because whenever we were talking about nostalgia and Nintendo and stuff, there's 2 main games for me that I always think about, like that build up my childhood mainly.
Oh, is it Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights?
Yeah, you nailed it,
Actually,
Shrode.
yes. I have that PS2.
no.
I had that for GameCube.
The 2, I just
I have the GameCube too.
I just want to ask like what y'all's favorite like nostalgia game was. I guess just Nintendo for the sake of it. Me, it's caught between 2. It's Super Mario Sunshine.
Okay, good game.
Fantastic game.
Oh, it's so cute.
Absolute
yeah.
great game. And Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
Really?
Great game.
It's actually a good game.
It is a phenomenal game.
sure,
The
sure.
story is amazing in that.
Mine's really, I never had it when I was little. I always played at someone else's house. But Kirby Air Ride,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, that game is so fun.
so good.
I can't tell you how many times I would
no,
just
and I
like
gotta point out how we're only talking about GameCube games right now.
I was going to say...
no game. Yeah, it's the thing, the
I was
nostalgia
gonna drop mine,
factor.
Metroid Prime.
Yeah, like-
hands down. I can speedrun that game in like 10 seconds.
Part of the reason I got the Wii was because it still played like
Yeah,
GameCube games. I was like,
definitely.
cool, I can just play it and like have all in one console.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights.
GameCube game.
GameCube
Third
game.
party, but GameCube.
Yeah.
It is third party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, GameCube innovation, all those Pokemon Coliseum and weird like games.
Dude, wow. See, it's all these games that I always go, dude, you know it's nostalgia, man.
I can just pull out like 3 games out of my pocket and
Yeah.
just blow your mind.
Yeah, it's just, you're always just like, you light up and you're like, oh, someone actually knows this.
Oh, God.
Right.
Have any of y'all heard of like Smash Brothers?
No.
That was a really fun game.
Okay.
I played.
And on that, thank you for listening.
Wait, what's yours, Ethan?
What? I
What's
said
it,
Metroid Prime.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Okay.
And also, though, this isn't an actual Nintendo game.
Hmm.
Like it's released on only Nintendo consoles. Mega Man 1 through 6.
Yeah, you're a big Mega Man fan.
Mega Man's one of my favorite games of all time. It's just such a perfect game. It's such a deep story. Like people give it credit. Like it's such a great betrayal story of like Rock, which is Mega Man before it becomes Mega Man, wasn't built for combat, which is why he always spares Wily's life, which perpetuates it. And Wily's only evil because him and Dr. Light were partners, and Dr. Light kept getting all the credit, and he's kind of a douche. So Wily got mad, and since he basically created and programmed all of Light's robots, Light just created like the shell of them. He reprograms all of them to turn evil, essentially, and that's what you're doing. And that's what I love about the first 6 Mega Man games is all the robots you can look at and go, oh, this is the function they perform for the city, and this is why they got the Nobel Peace Prize, whatever, is because it's like Gutsman's a construction worker, Flame Man's, whatever, Electric Man runs the grid, like all of them perform functions around the city, and then he reprograms all of them to turn everywhere. Each world's this little, it's just such a good, anyway.
Yeah, for sure. It's classic design.
Mega Man's classic, but
I
Metroid
have my
Prime.
topic for next podcast, anyways.
Yeah?
I'm excited.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. I think that was a really good podcast.
Yeah.
It's fun as always.
Yeah. So that was our third one. Be sure to check out the other 2. They're up on SoundCloud and YouTube. We'll put the SoundCloud and our Patreon links down below. One last plug. We are going to be filming some other content soon, and we could use all the support we could get. So if you can just make sure you share this content around if you're listening to it. We'd love to hear what you think. Comment below for sure. Hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah,
at
follow us on
CattleProd
Twitter.
Team. We can also hit us individually as well. We'll put our Twitters in the description. We'll be back next week with a brand new podcast. And until then, would ask the audience a question to like ponder on and discuss in the comments.
Like what?
I don't know. I think like a good little like discussion thing. Like let's make this a two-way street. Yeah.
I mean, we can just say, what's your nostalgia game?
Yeah, I was thinking
that's
that.
a game. What's your most nostalgic game as a child?
Is Scrappy-Doo
Do we
in said
do we want to just leave that to
nostalgic game?
Nintendo only?
I say open it up.
Open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you feel most nostalgic.
Yeah.
What do you remember best?
Your favorite, most nostalgic game and your most nostalgic console. Like
Yep.
what games do you have the most memory on? So thanks again for listening and goodbye.
Ciao.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.